Welcome, friends. Thanks for coming along. little string noodling for you today. Hope that's all right. Kind of reflective of the mood here in our beautiful Pacific Northwest. It is rainy and kind of dim outside. Got those sullen, bruised clouds above us. So, so just a quick welcome to begin with, Trey Clark. Thanks for the kind words, I think. What? We just don't know what kind. Sue Finelli, great to see you again, my friend. Can't wait to see you coming up at Flattoberfest. We have a whole bunch of folks showing up at Flattoberfest, including Trey Clark, and I'll be there as well. Trey is bringing his git fiddle. I'll have a bit of a keyboard, I think, going along there. So if you, I know we keep talking about it, but we'll put you up in here. Flattoberfest, October 24. That is next Saturday. So if you have not yet made your plans to do so, please do. Hey, Megsy, great to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you for a minute. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Lucas, great to see you as well. All the folks, Billingtano, always enjoy our chats. It's this is, in fact, this is very close to what I have for you today. It's probably going to be a short evening in terms of the program, but I do want to just encourage people to. Hey, Celestial Creations. Again, it's great to see you. And so, just want to encourage you to send emails and that sort of stuff. I always enjoy hearing from you. So I'll put it up here real quick. Of course, this is the ending screen, but I do thank you. But you can reach me at unintended.consequences3@gmail.com, as well as if you'd like to just put a real thing in the real post office, which they tell us will never get anywhere. You could do that as well. The Great Baldini, P.O. Box 2248, Linwood, Lynnwood, Washington 98306. And if you want to support financially, you can at paypal.me/GreatBaldini. And there you go. So, but I do love hearing from you. Last week we talked a bit about, again, just if you have anything that you wanted to have us ask Dad for, and on your behalf, we do that. And I had some great reports on that, and just most of them I think were kind of personal enough that it's I know maybe it seems like a little bit Weasley, just I'm not going to tell you what it is, but they were really personal, as things like this usually are. So don't want to without permission. I'm not going to say anything. If people want to give me permission, say, hey, yeah, you can tell people that. Yeah, that's cool. Totally down with that as well. But again, just encourage you to if you need somebody to chat with or talk to. One of the primary things that came out of I'm going to say primary. There are several major things that have come out of the Awakening Project, and I am continuing to work on that data to put it in a format that you can look at and kind of make sense of yourself. But primarily, again, some of the major things that come out of it. One of them being that many people who have had the scales fall off their eyes to where they see things in a different way. They see what really we would say is the truth of the world, that there has been an illusion that has been cast into this world to subdue people and their abilities, to subdue and oppress who they are and what they are able to achieve. And to get us to play along with what really is a fairy tale, a play, a show that has no meaning. When in fact there are things that have a great deal of meaning. In fact, means everything, and that you are yourself the prize in this contest. You are not just competing for the prize, but you, your heart and your soul and your mind are the prize. So take heed. And but again, those who have crossed this Rubicon, if you will, to see the world in a different way, often feel very alone and separate from others. And of course, they intend for it to be that way. It is such a profound and complete change that you cannot go back, and you cannot yet see the world as you once did. And so everyone around you is literally playing in along with this show that you don't want to play along with anymore, and you want to talk about things that are real. So when they want to talk about sports ball or the election and that sort of stuff, you just go, come on, right? Let's talk about things that are real. Let's talk about intention and the power of love. You're going to get weird looks that way. So again, one of the things I wanted to be able to do here, and I am so delighted to see that it has begun, is for folks to be able to get together and hang out with one another and develop the relationships in the tribe. And I see this happen on a continuous basis here in the chat, as well as offline and in chats and other shows as well. And I'm so just tickled to see this happening, that we are developing and building and strengthening a network of those who see things with new eyes. And this is one of the reasons I'm so excited about coming up in Flattoberfest, is to have the power of 300 people there. Right? How amazing is that going to be? A whole bunch of people with the right vibe in what appears to be right in the camp of the enemy, right there at a Shriners Convention Center. Woo! All right, you go, Karen B. I love it. All right. So we got that going, which is nice. A couple of things I wanted to. So again, I mentioned it'll probably be fairly brief today. One of the reasons is that I saw that Bitches Brew is coming up this evening, and so I think that's on Iron Realm Media. We've got Cavi Nodell is hosting that, so I don't want to impinge too much on them. Of course, I do the regular show here. I don't. So I just want to give everybody a chance to hang out at all the places that we can go. But again, I don't have a lot to add today. Well, I have a few things I just want to bring up and mention in response to some emails and some comments that I've gotten, and I want to just kind of approach it this way. I've been thinking about it, really just the few moments playing, right? The whole point of noodling is to kind of clear my mind and give me a chance to kind of get inspired and see what's happening there. But I think these things have been kind of on my heart. I've gotten some questions regarding, hey, like other channels and their content. Hey, what do you think about this person, or what do you think about that person? And I am very reticent to address. Well, let me put it this way, right? So, Jesus said, "Judge not, that you be not judged, because by the same measure that you judged, you will be judged by others." Now, we're also told later on in Scripture that we should judge all things, and also we should test every spirit. Now, this has created a great deal of conflict among those who perceive or treat Christianity or the followings or the teachings of Jesus as a religion. Because, as I have said before, when you get too caught up in the words, you miss the whole point, which is the relationship with your Creator. And then that relationship is, from my view, should be the driving force in everything that you do. This is why I clearly say over and over, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just going to encourage you to go straight to Dad, right? That's where the answers are. That's my encouragement. Go there. That's been my experience, is that's where wisdom and love, compassion and joy and peace all can come from that place. And that being the Creator, the perfect embodiment, and He exudes all these things, right? And so if you want it indwelling in you, go there. All I can do is point you in that direction. I don't have anything more to offer than that. But if you spend so much time taking the teachings of Jesus, who said, hey, there's a way to get directly to the Creator, you don't need religion to do that. And people said, hey, that's a great idea. Let's make a religion out of that. Go on, right? So many people have done just that. They treat it as a religion. They try to keep a set of rules, and then they judge others for not keeping those rules as well as they do. And therein lies a great deal of problem, because people gonna people, right? To me, those things are not disparities or contradictory. What Jesus said is, don't judge others, right? Don't judge others, because when you do, you're judging them by your standards and by your thought process, and they're not you. And I have said before, for many years, from back in the day when I was doing counseling, right? One of the surest ways to be mistaken about some other person's motives is to project your own onto them, to say, well, I would, if you think they think like you do, you're guaranteed to be wrong. And so if you try to project your motives onto their actions, you will be absolutely mistaken. Well, you just can't do it, because they're not you. And so, but it certainly, we judge things. You can judge whether a thing is good or bad or right or wrong. We do this, we encourage it in the what we would call the truth community, to use good discernment, right? And again, test the spirits, right? See, not all things are true. And certainly you can see this when you look out at the mainstream news, for example. After a while, you just kind of, the pattern recognition kicks in, and you can see the games that they're playing and the tricks they play and the stage magic that they use to fool people and to draw them in, using a variety of methods from NLP and power of suggestion to groupthink and herd mentality, right? We're going to kick you out if you don't, if you don't follow along with our groupthink. It's basically, a cult. They use subliminal messaging in all varieties. They use suggestion in many different ways. And they have a full court press, including music and movies and television shows and pop culture of every kind. They've got it. They got it covered. And so from every angle, you're getting a reinforcement of this, this false reality that they're impressing upon you. So everybody grows up in that world, and few of us have seemed to awaken from it. It seems more now than ever before, and again, there are many attributions for that. Some people, again, say it's the Great Awakening, and that there is a shift in the spiritual consciousness, and that we will all awaken one day to some sort of apotheosis. We're going to evolve as mankind into some new godlike form. I'm not seeing it that way. I do see, from my point of view, that it seems to be part of the game that is being played. And it is seems like a win-win for both sides. Jesus said, let the wheat and the tares grow together, and at the end we'll separate them. Right? But it seems in this case to be a litmus test for those who are in control of things to see who's going along with the programming and who is not, as they sprint toward the finish and begin to throw out just the most outrageous things. We certainly can see that those things are just silly, and yet people buy them, lock, stock, and barrel. They swallow the whole thing. But in that regard, it seems to be, again, a sort of litmus test. So when they, to me, many of the things that we now regard as self-evident truths, such as the alternate cosmology, and that many people agree with that going to Flattoberfest, right? That it is a realm, it is not a spinning space rock. But that sort of thing, and the nature of chemtrails and the nature of the lies. I'm just getting into too much because, again, many people are getting taken off this platform, and I do have a DLive channel. I have a few other channels here and there. I haven't started anything because it just, up to this point, wasn't really necessary. We're planning for it. So I'm just going to, kind of be careful. This never was my intention to do much in the way of expository nature, assuming that, again, there's so many channels out there that cover these sorts of things. It's not really, I don't really need to cover those things unless I see something that other people don't see at all, and that's just kind of rare. And if I do, usually I pass it along to them, right? Because, I don't know everything. So in any event, just again, getting back to this idea of some people ask questions, what do you think about this person or that person? And I just kind of go, it's not, I'm not going to, there are a lot of people out there who are content creators who are my personal friends. I've gotten to know them, but I don't agree with everybody on everything. Certainly, we agree on a lot of different things. There are some people who, I don't know, and I try to, look around and see stuff, and some people I agree with more than others. There's nobody I agree with completely, right? That doesn't mean I dislike them or have anything negative to say about them. If there are people in sometimes, they say things that I would probably disagree with a great deal, such as, for example, this idea of self-apotheosis. Well, I take a very different course than that. So I would say I think that's a mistaken and frankly short-sighted view, because I just don't see anybody really achieving that. If it was something that you could see results from, that would be one thing. But the results seem to be just drawing you ever further down a rabbit hole, which is never ending, and you're just not smart enough to get it. If you just had the right, understanding of this occult knowledge, that you could get there. And I just don't see it happening. In fact, those who do seem to excel in occult knowledge seem to always turn toward the left-hand path or a darker side and use it for their own benefit. And that's not where I want to go. And that doesn't seem to be representative of the kind of love that I see in the Creator. And for me, the primary way to get things done, if you will, to have to me, I guess it depends on how you measure success. For me, a measure of success in this world is really, becoming close to the Creator, right? And understanding the wisdom that made the place. That seems to be the greatest wisdom that there is. So for me, getting closer to that and better representing the kind of love and compassion that I would like to see in others, and certainly that I see from the Creator, that seems to be a positive thing. And so I'm down with that. It is not my place to tell other people what to do or how to do it. Again, I can recommend from my experience and from that of others that I know, that going directly to the source is the best way to get there and the fastest and most effective way. So I can recommend that to someone, here's a way to go. But again, it's not me to say, somebody's wrong. I can say I disagree or something like that. So I am reticent, I guess all that to get here, I'm deeply reticent to, judge anybody else or say, I think you should not listen to this person. Or for me, I would just always go, it is your level of discernment. It is it's kind of up to you. And when your compass points in a certain direction, you'll know what's okay and what's not okay with you. I don't think there's just about, knowledge is knowledge. And I don't think there's knowledge that's necessary in and of itself dangerous. I think there's directions you can go that are dangerous and that will put you in the influence of those who are your enemy. Enough said. How do you know? Again, as you begin to develop your sense of discernment, I think that it becomes more apparent. And again, let your conscience be your guide. I don't know how else to put that. It's not my place to tell you. I don't know how else to do that. Now, Ben, if nominated, I will not accept, and if elected, I will not serve. That's not my thing. My role, I think, is more to encourage people, and I have, frankly, suffered a great deal in my life, and I have heard it said. It's not my original statement. I've heard it said, but I would agree with it. And in order for Dad to use someone well, to use him greatly, he must break him deeply. And this has been my observation that is, I have not seen much of the case where that is not true. It takes when you go through an enormous amount of difficulty, it gives you a kind of compassion for people that you just don't have without having experienced it yourself. This is not a replay, FEMA. This is live. So maybe I'm hitting the same themes over and over, but again, this is so. Again, when I come to answer these questions, I'm happy to. People ask me again frequently my take on certain things, or how do I see this, or they'll send me a clip of this and that. Again, I will at times address the content. What I think about the content of it, but I'm not necessarily, again, I have no real bad things to say about people who present that content. There are, hey, Belicious, how are you? There are some people whose only content seems to be trashing other people, and I don't have positive things to say about that, especially those who use religion as a front to do it. And then cause people that I know and care about, who have a bad taste in their mouth already about just the idea and content of Christianity because of these people, right? I've said many times that it's largely the greatest obstacle to Christianity are Christians, the so-called, right? And it's only 99% that give the rest a bad name. Yeah, again, I don't really have anything against Christians or clearly Christianity. I follow Jesus the best I can, but in terms of organized religion, I have no patience for it or use for it. I believe much more harm has been done in the name of religion and in the name of God in all kinds of different religions than good. So, if you really want to do well, my suggestion and strong encouragement is follow the Creator. And if anyone lacks wisdom, you can ask him, and he says he'll give it to you. I would share this with you. People, again, often have a perception of the Creator as being some kind of angry, bitter, spiritual traffic cop with his radar gun, and he's waiting for you to be sinful, hallelujah, and write you a ticket and throw you into hell. And we often get this, view again of the book of Revelation as being this series of horrifying events, and there are some things in there that are pretty nutty. But here's something from Revelation. I think that to me is a great example of the Creator that I know. So it's Revelation chapter 7. One of the elders asked me, those in white robes. So again, this is John the Revelator. He's been taken, he says, in the Spirit, so he's seeing things that are to come to pass, and he sees a number of things. And so he sees a bunch of people, right? There's a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, which is Jesus. They were wearing white robes, and they were holding palm branches in their hands, and they cried out in a loud voice, "Salvation belongs to our God who sits on the throne and to the Lamb." And all the angels were standing around the throne, and all the elders and the 4 living creatures. There was one that looked like a man, one like an ox, one like a lion, and one like a flying eagle with 6 wings each and eyes everywhere. They fell down on their faces before the throne. They worshipped God, saying, "Amen. Praise and glory and wisdom and thanks and honor and power and strength be to our God forever and ever. Amen." Then one of the elders asked me, "Those in white robes, who are they, and where did they come from?" And I answered, "Sir, you know." And he said, "Those are the ones who have come out of the great tribulation. They've washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore, they are before the throne of God, and they serve him day and night in his temple. And he who sits on the throne will shelter them in his presence. Never again will they hunger. Never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down on them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes." That doesn't sound like a hateful, mean, angry Creator to me. And that's not that's the Creator that I know. This guy. He will wipe away every tear from your eyes and take away all the sorrows that you've experienced. It is immensely and entirely a healing process. And sometimes that healing process can be very painful. As he once said to me, really it was, frankly, I would say Mom, that expressed to me, I was really, hurting through this process, and I was just pondering, like, why is this so difficult and painful? And really, she says, all we're trying to do is to take away the parts of you that we did not make, to turn you into the beautiful creation that we had once intended. And yet it is those parts of you that you made, the self-made man that you've become, which really are largely unhealthy coping mechanisms. And you see, the only reason that this hurts is because you don't want to let go. Oh, ouch. And it's true. It's like pulling scabs off. Sometimes those things need to be addressed, and they're painful to go through to really address those issues. However, once you do walk through that long, dark night of the soul, when you come out of the other side, again, there is a sense of compassion and understanding and love that you have for others, especially the unlovely, because you come to realize, I think, this truth, that those who are unlovely and are the most difficult to love, the reason they are that way is because they are so deeply wounded and they so badly need love that they know nothing about it, and they're like a beat down dog who just growls at you and tries to take the food. They've never had anyone treat them nicely and feed them, and so it becomes understandable and more easily tolerated, and certainly it puts you in a position to better serve their needs. And so for me, that is more and more my goal is to help to meet the needs of others where possible, and to again share the burdens that I've carried and help you carry yours. That sounds perhaps a little cheesy. I suppose it might be, but it's real. It's genuine. Again, I'm trying to be here to help you. It is true that I don't have a lot of time available due to the nature of doing this and doing my regular job and caring for my wife and family. Those things all take time, and I try to be responsible for it. But I also try to be responsible for, again, the things that I say. I have never asked for or really, never. During this process, I have never asked for or taken the role of teacher or anything like that. It's just, I don't really feel that that's my particular role at this point. Really, it's, again, just to be a resource, an encouragement, a cheerleader, if you will. But I do realize that there are those who put value on the things that I say. And so as a result of that, I really do try to be conscious of, what is said and how I say it. So it is not that it is edited or that I'm censoring myself, but I try to be, again, responsible and accountable for the things that I say. So that it's not my intent to offend anyone, certainly, but to give people the opportunity to think and to challenge their own beliefs and their own perceptions themselves, and to get to give you an opportunity to say, hey, if you're looking for answers, for me, I feel like there's a place to find them, and you can do so again by going to your Creator directly, and that's a good place to go. And to that, that is where, again, I think, I said it would be rather brief this evening, and I know Bitches Brew with Karen B. and Cammie and Beth Martins, and I don't know if Rose 777 is going to be there because she was traveling, but some great stuff over there as well. So again, I don't want to interject on their stuff, but again, I didn't have a huge, long diatribe for today. Other than I would just, again, encourage people to, be kind to one another and do your best to manifest love around you, and be kind. It's difficult sometimes when people are harassing you for not wearing a mask or being different. You're definitely sticking out like a sore thumb these days. But it doesn't require you to push back or be hostile about it. I have found that. When I respond with a smile, when they ask me to wear a mask, and when I respond with a smile and positive intentions, I really just don't have much trouble. There are a few people, but those, again, are more the mask holes than any of the businesses. So, all right. So with that, again, if you have questions, comments, you want to reach out, again, you can do so at unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. It's a great way to get in touch with me. And again, I'm always pleased to hear back from you guys, both positive reports and good stories, as well as, things that you need, or if you need encouragement, that sort of stuff. I would be happy to help you with that. If you want something you want me to talk to Dad about on your behalf, I'm pleased to do that for you as well. And so with that, I think I'll just now bring it into a landing. I'll close again with something. I think this would be coming about 1992 from Joe Ray and myself. And this would be, I'll do this version. It's a little embarrassing, but this is my version, or my vocals on this one, In Your Eyes, and we'll leave you with this. And again, I hope to see you coming back on Tuesday morning. I'll be back on this channel for the Cocky Pop report, as Rose is still traveling. Karen B will be with me on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Rose comes back on Thursday for the full-on Poppycock report, and that's going to be on her backup channel, Rose 777 2.0. And I'll see you again at coming up next week, next Saturday at Flattoberfest. Make sure to get your tickets, and I hope to see you there. Take care, everybody.
Remember the moment alone. Do you remember our heart left cold? I walk a lonely road until I find forgiveness. Do you remember that feeling inside? Do you remember the one left behind? I'll be there by your side if I could live forever. 'Cause I wanna find forgiveness, forgiveness in your eyes. I wanna live forever, forever in your eyes. I wanna see heaven, wanna see heaven in your eyes. Do you remember the promises made? Do you remember the one who was betrayed? Trying to show the way to live forever. Do you remember the trust that was made? Do you remember that you walked away? I'm waiting for the day that I see you in heaven. 'Cause I wanna find forgiveness, forgiveness in your eyes. I wanna live forever, forever in your eyes. I wanna see heaven, I wanna see heaven in your eyes. Do you remember the day it began? Do you remember just how far you ran? Trying to save the day and live forever. Do you remember the dream you were shown? Do you remember the peace you'd